Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Man, what a shit show for Teofimo Lopez. What a disastrous reign that was very short lived, even though it lasted a year. Zero title defenses, going against Top Rank, which was his fatal mistake that caused this. Biting the hand that fed him, disrespecting his promoter, the whole fiasco with Triller that never put on the fight and wasted Teofimo's career, a year of his career, and installed his momentum coming off the Lomachenko fight. And here you had a hungry, undefeated contender with with some solid experience. He's a real pro. Has trained with the best, numerous camps with Manny Pacquiao. Was determined, was hungry. Even all everything that happened going into the fight, COVID, postponements. You didn't think George would be able to pull it off on the road against a very talented fighter, but was so full of himself going into this fight. He won the lottery ticket and just didn't cash it in by defending his titles, which is the most important part of being a champion. It's hard to win a title, but it's even harder to defend it because you got hungry guys coming at you like a George Kambosos who have trained for all their lives for this moment. You got to be on your A game every single time out, especially if you can't cherry pick your opponent and you haven't mandated fight against you. More often than not, you're going to have a strong mandatory challenger. And Kambosos was a solid mandatory challenger that I didn't think had the ability to pull this off. Even though Teofimo fought like absolute dog shit in this fight, he did absolutely everything wrong for why he's put in this position as losing his belts in his very first title defense in what was a embarrassing defeat in his home state. There was no game plan. There was no science behind his approach. There was no jabbing. There was no cutting the range, jabbing his way in. My man just went up in that ring and he punched hard. That's all he did. He went in there, thought he would throw hard shots, and thinking George would fall if he hit him one or two times. Can't do that at this level. Gotta set shit up. Gotta have a game plan. Gotta have more respect for your opponent. Teofimo underestimated George. Everything just went wrong. And as a result, Teofimo is now one of the laughing stocks in boxing. I mean, there's no denying it, man. I mean, this is a major L of the highest order. Losing your belts coming off that victory over Loma, being regarded as pound for pound, getting all the praise, and you losing your very first title defense, and you have no rematch clause to go with it. And now you back to square one with no value because you lost your belts, you got beat up. Look, the fight was close. I felt the fight was close, considering Lopez closed the gap in the second half of that fight. Had some momentum going into the 11th, especially after the knockdown, but George took the 11th round. The 12th could have went either way. I'm not mad at the decision. I mean, Teo fought terrible, didn't have a game plan. He fought like shit and still almost got a gift in New York. Now here's the sad part. Had Teofimo not disrespected Top Rank, had he not just spit the hand that fed him, he would have gotten that gift had this fight been on a Top Rank show. You best believe that. Top Rank would have gotten him that gift. Maybe Teofimo wouldn't have performed so bad because this was a terrible performance. He did everything wrong, and George escaped with a split decision victory. There will be no rematch, of course. Highly doubt it. I mean, Teofimo's not going to go to Australia to fight this guy and can't risk taking another L, especially draining himself to 135 pounds again. It's just a recipe for disaster. He can do everything right, have a better game plan, come in more focused, but the odds will be against him, having to go to Australia and to fight a hungry contender in his prime who is now champion. He'll be a lot more confident in the rematch, which will make the fight harder for Teofimo in the rematch. So you just gotta move on, take the L. It's gonna be a hard L to swallow. Move up to 140 and work your way into another mandatory position. Because I mean, why should Josh Taylor fight you? I mean, where's the value? What's he get out of it? You're coming off a loss. You got no belts. You're a former champion. My man just came from Australia, George, and relieved you of all your straps and looking like a damn fool in that ring, saying you won 10-2. You know, I know it's hard, man. You thought you had the world at the palm of your hand, and just all you had to do was make one goddamn title defense. But you did everything wrong. You was in over your head. Your father, he has pros and cons to Teofimo. He creates buzz with Teofimo with his antics and his shit talking. But what does he bring to the table when it comes to the game plan, the strategies within the gym? Is he making you a better fighter, or is he simply just your hype man? I mean, what was the instructions in the corner? I mean, I'm not going to be overcritical of Teofimo Sr. I mean, there was some advice he was giving him, solid advice, especially after the second round. He was saying, "Yo, calm down, take your time." But there was also advice where you shook your head. He just pretty much told him to go in there and fuck this guy up. I mean, what kind of advice is that? What's the strategy? Teo had none, man. And out in Kambosos, he really took the fight to him. He outfought him. He knocked him down. He beat him up, and he out-countered the shit out of Teofimo all night. He kept stopping him in his tracks with counter lefts and counter rights, even hurting Teofimo a bunch of times throughout the fight, man. It was a tough, physical fight that Teofimo's going to have to recover from. And mentally, it's going to be harder for him to overcome after being relieved of all his straps just like that. It's a sad fall from grace. It's just a sad way to go out, man, with your reign just getting totally shattered within a year, not making one title defense, going out like a chump at the post-fight at the post-fight interview. I mean, everything just went wrong for Teo, and who knows what's gonna go. Where does Teo go from here? I have no idea, man. Does Top Rank even want to fuck with him no more? How is that contract going to be restructured now that he lost his belts? You best believe had Teo just stayed with Top Rank and not caused all this commotion and put a delay to his title reign and career, even if he performed this badly, like he did this past Saturday night against George, you best believe Top Rank would have gotten him that gift had he performed that bad. But now George Kambosos is the man, and I can't knock him, man. You want a piece of him? You want a shot at him? Do what he did. Go to another dude's backyard and try to relieve him of his straps. And I'm not 100% convinced the American hype jobs are even gonna be up to that task. Is Gervonta even gonna fight George Kambosos? Is Kambosos stubborn enough to turn down bigger paydays in America in order to get that respect and have an American fighter come see him and try to relieve him of his belts? Will Gervonta Davis take the bait? Will Devin Haney take the bait? Maybe he will. I doubt these dudes would travel to try to relieve George Kambosos of his straps. But the sky's the limit for George Kambosos, and for Teofimo, man, it's gonna be months of soul searching, hurt feelings, crying alone at night, and just wondering what the hell went wrong after winning the biggest fight of your career. Never seen anything like this, man. Hilarious. This is boxing truth. I'm out.